put this together. Sorry about I don't know, my computer is not cooperating. Otherwise, I would have shared my presentation, PowerPoint. By the way, I was really impressed by Dr. Dolly's. I forgot her last name. I can't see it in uh, yeah, it is okay. Now I'll go back to my topic of discussion, that is on globalization and the challenges of multi-generational recruitment and retention. And again, many of the things since I teach in the United States to the United States, gain something from my talk and so forth. Please feel free and recently, what is happening in the United States, I call this recent attacks on the federal employees. That was caused by government shutdown, which is unthinkable in anywhere in the world. People get puzzled by what was happening in the United States, which is the most developed country, and to have government shutdown is unthinkable. That has led to breakdown of the morale of the federal employees. They were almost laid off for almost 42 days without any payment. Then President Trump, after coming to the office, he created a Department of Government Efficiency, and the main reason for that background, I would like to go back to some of the issues relating to globalization. And so there are several reasons that pose challenges under this. Ability, such as ethics, fifth, retirement, and then lastly is privatization movement. Loss of prestige of government employment has led to a lot of challenges in federal government in the United States. It is tough to recruit qualified people when public employees no longer enjoy the respect and importance once they had. In many developing countries, the opportunities for bribes and generous benefits in exchange for government managerial control diminishes the intrinsic satisfaction of public service. The pressure for greater government efficiency make government service less attractive to potential job seekers. Also, compensation played a challenge, especially in the United States. In an age of limited budget, it is challenging to attract the cream of the crops when organizations cannot afford to offer competitive salaries. In an age of globalization, there are enough opportunities for talented people to find jobs outside of the government. However, salary is not the only factor that attracts people to the job. Still, it is a decisive factor in a world of rising prices and ever growing necessities of life. In modern times, the growing desire for more amenities pushes people to seek higher salaries. Public service ethics. Lebigna and Hayes of public service ethics. The low level of trust in government complicates it. Erosion of public service ethics is widespread because of the widespread decline of trust in the government. The loss of public ethics is a serious problem faced by the government. It can cause severe public frustration, leading to political instability and legitimacy crisis. Therefore, one of the significant challenges for the government is preserving ethics among public servants. Retention. In addition to recruitment, managing and retaining the employees pose serious challenges. Globalization has opened up opportunities for talented people to leave government jobs and work in the private sector, earning higher salaries. Employee turnover in government jobs in the developed world has far-reaching consequences for recruiting and training new employees. The breakdown of the psychological contract worsened the situation of recruitment. One of the significant challenges for government is sustaining pension benefits amid the increasing number of retirees in OECD countries. The problem is pronounced in the senior level executive positions. As a result, maintaining continuity and preserving specialization in public service is a challenge. There is a shortage of skilled labor in many developed countries. One solution is to import from other countries, which causes brain drain in developing countries that already suffer from a lack of skilled people. Developing countries are losing skilled peoples to the developed world. Now I'm going to go back to my main thesis relating to this about how to attract different generations and recruit and retain. And again, there are 4 generations that I have included in there. First one is baby boomers, then Generation X, millennials, and Generation Z. And I see in the present participant here, there are different generations. Baby boomer generations were born 1946 to 1964. Baby boomers were born to many soldiers returning from wars and starting age range of generation. Baby boomers are dedicated, goal-oriented, experience focused on personal fulfillment and committed to equality. Baby boomers provide experience, stability, and institutional memories for organization. Generation X represent those who were born between 1965 and 1980. By the way, you guys can determine yourself which generation you belong to. As of the 2019 US Census data, there are 64.2 million Generation Xers in the United States. Most of the members of this group are the children of the silent generation and early baby boomers. But by the way, silent generation, which I did not include, those who were born before 1945, most of them were dead. The photographer Robert Capa first used the term Generation X. After World War II, he used it to narrate a certain attitude, outlook, and mentality of young people. Later, Canadian author Douglas Coupland made this term well known through his 1991 novel. Many got property ownership in this era and benefited from relative economic prosperity. They are experiencing opportunities. The significant characteristics of Generation X are independence, resourcefulness, talent, valuing diversity, and responsibility. Millennials, they are born from 1981 and 1996. They grew up in an age and accustomed to the forces of globalization. The characteristics are entrepreneurial, learn new things, socially active, collaborative, and Generation Z was born between 1997 and 2012. They do not live before the internet. They were exposed to learning during COVID-19 and were ethnically very diverse. They are focused on educational opportunities. They focus on fulfillment and making a difference in people's lives. Like other generation, this generation also has unique characteristics as outlined below. Money driven, and again, you all can think about that. Money driven and ambitious, politically and socially aware, racially and ethnically diverse, socially active, and digitally active. Now, I try to compare or relate the different generations with motivation theories. And I think many of you, those who are public administration students, are familiar with these theories, but I'll explain in a nutshell about those theories. Maslow was one of the earliest pioneers. He talked about the hierarchy of needs, starting with physiological needs, safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. Then the second theory I incorporated is ERG. Eldorfer came up with this theory, which basically says about existence needs, related needs, and growth needs. Then Hertzberg came up with two-factor theory, and two-factor he incorporated as hygiene and motivation factors. I'm trying to make it very short. Equity theory that it basically talks about the relationship between input and output. Input, they describe it as how much effort and time you are giving. And output, basically the salary you're getting. And according to this theory, they said that people compare their input and output compared to somebody else's input and output. And it says that frustration may result, and if you see somebody is not putting that much effort and time, but getting more salaries compared to another person who is not, who is spending a lot of time and effort, or he or she is not getting same salary or lower salary compared to the other person. So I think that's very interesting theory. The locus of control theory. Locus of control theory basically says that the employees look at whether or not their effort is going to make any difference. If they see salary is not tied to their effort, they're not going to put that effort. They'll probably try to keep the job, but they are not really motivated if they don't see any linkage between their effort and ability and the reward. So that's what they are, the authors basically focusing on, where the locus of reward coming from. And the last one that I considered is expectancy theory, and which many of you are familiar with, which basically says that people believe in their ability, but they are also look at the reward value. For example, if they say that they don't see enough value on the reward, they're not going to put enough effort. Like many of the organization uses merit pay or seller bonuses and so on. But if you don't see the bonuses is high enough, they're not going to put effort in there. For example, me, if they say that, okay, you're going to get $100 if you publish, I'm not going to put that much effort, because I know that publishing an article takes a lot of time and so forth. But if they increase the reward, say you're going to get $1,000, yes, I'm going to put a lot more effort in there. So the balance is the value of the reward is very important. Now I try to make a comparison. I wish I could have showed you my table, but I'll just tell orally if you are confused. I know it is very difficult when you don't see the slide and so forth. And I try to make a comparison between different generations and theories. So based on my analysis, again, you may disagree, agree or disagree that baby boomer generation, based on Maslow's theory, they put a lot of emphasis on physiological needs, the first need. And based on ERG, which is also related to Maslow's theory, they emphasize existence. And based on two-factor theory, they put more on hygiene factors. On equity theory, they do not put as much because they are more organizational uh, organizational goals, loyalty. Same way, they do not put too much effort in and look out for less emphasis on balance. On the other hand, generation X put a lot of efforts, a lot of emphasis on physiological and social needs based on Maslow. Similarly, based on ERG theory, they also put emphasis on relatedness, as you know, that they wanted to get socialized with other, and at the same time on growth because they are motivated and so forth. Based on two-factor theory, they put a lot of emphasis on motivation. And because they think that hygiene factor should be there in the first place, so they put a lot of emphasis. And again, they put a lot of emphasis on equity theory and locus of control, and also put a lot of emphasis on balance of the values. So millennials, based on Maslowian theory, they put a lot of emphasis on esteem needs. So I'm going to be brief rather than make you too bored about this, because there are similarities between millennials and Generation Z. Generation Z, on the other hand, they put a lot of emphasis on self-actualization. So that is the difference between millennials and Generation Z, because they're highly motivated and they're highly money driven and so forth. And also, I would say that Generation Z put a lot more emphasis on locus of control, because they wanted to see the link between their rewards and their efforts. Okay, compared to the millennials. The next, on balance, both millennials and Generation Z put very, very high emphasis on balance, because they are money driven. They wanted to make more money. And on the other side of the coin, many see that millennials and Generation Z, they have low loyalty to the organizations, like the baby boomers. I don't know. I see many from the face. I can tell that many of you belong to this group. So you can judge whether my assessment is correct or not. By the way, I just want to have a little joke about the millennials and Generation Z, because my generation, I'm a baby boomers. So those who are millennials and Generation Z, probably you don't know what this 8-track tape recorder is. You probably don't know what is the bullock cart driven agriculture and so forth. I don't know if it is still practiced and so forth. And also you are used to the internet so much, which was unthinkable when I came to this country, and we had to wait an hour to make a telephone call, and it was so expensive. Now you are all in India, and I'm delivering a lecture based on my home in New York right now. So that's beside the point. I just wanted to kind of bring this up to make a little joke about this. So based on the relationship between the motivation theories and different generations, it is very important that you tailor motivation to the generation. In other words, new generation, millennials and Generation Z, they're not satisfied only by salary. They want extra benefits and so. So we need to tailor motivation to the different generations. And at the same time, public sector, I think that is true in the United States or in India or any other country, we need to provide job security. In the US and in most of the countries, for example, they go to public service for job security, even with a less salary. And that job security was kind of threatened, especially in the United States. So I'm glad that I think in India and other countries, they still give job security, right? And I'm originally from Bangladesh, and that is true. And in the US, it was the case. People would accept job security, less salary because of job security at the federal level. Then other suggestion that I have, that we need to glorify public service motivation. In other words, those who go for public service, they are not motivated only by salary. And we call this PSM, or public service motivation. They are highly dedicated to do a service for the people, to provide and so forth. So we need to glorify that public service motivation. And again, in conclusion, I would like to say that it is crucial to recruit multi-generational employees because different generations provide different skills and experience to public service. Earlier generation promote organizational stability and continuity. And they also provide for institutional memories. Okay, because they have worked in the organization, especially in the public sector, for a long, long time. And their experience, there is no replacement for it. No technology can bring that experience. On the other hand, the younger generation symbolize changes and adaptability in an age of globalization, where the environment is so volatile and technology is changing so fast. So we need the younger generations and their skills to cope up with the rapid changes in the environment. And again, I don't know, one of my favorite theories is by Thompson, especially those who are in public administration. It was written a long time ago. He basically talked about 3 levels of responsibility in an organization. First one is institutional level. Second one is managerial level. Third is technical level. Those who are at the institutional level, they need to monitor the environment. In other words, what changes that are taking place. So they provide the adaptability, and organizations must change, and so forth, so that they are viable and continue to exist. So we need adaptability, which the young people provide. I would say that differing with Thompson would be more technical level. They provide this adaptability, the younger generation. And the older generation, they basically provide stability and continuity, which is also important. Although it is a volatile environment and we need to change in a constant basis, but there is the necessity of maintaining some sort of stability. Because, in an organization, if you constantly change like every week, people will be puzzled and so forth. I don't know about you, I will be puzzled. And especially since I am a baby boomer generation, I try to maintain some sort of a stability and so forth. Of course, we have to adapt because I'll not be teaching if I cannot adapt to this new technology and so forth. And it is changing so much and so forth. And the third thing that I would emphasize is, and which I kind of regret that I could not do it, there should be an empirical studies on different generation, because this is based on my analysis and my readings. What actually motivates them? What young people are motivated by. That's what we need to find out through empirical studies. If I get a large grant or something, then probably I will try to do that. I try to look for some of the organized data already, and I could not find anything relating to this. I would say that those who are young scholars, that may be a topic for you. Like in India, you can make a sample of different generations and see what motivates them. And let's see. Now I would like to invite any questions if you have.
Thank you, sir. Now, all the participants are requested to post their questions in the chat box or unmute and ask the case.
Okay.
Is there any question? Yeah, I want to ask. Yeah.
Participants have no any questions. They want to sleep early, so I think I have discussed with Professor Haroon about this situation. So next time we will coordinate this time according how we can manage Indian time and also American time. So thank you so much, Professor Haroon sir, and I think very much thanks to Professor Dr. Amir Nasrullah, who is a good friend of mine and who has suggested the name of the Professor Haroon sir. And when I have called to Professor Haroon, so sir, thank you so much. Very easily you have given me response and received my call and given response with my invitation. So thank you so much, Professor Haroon sir. I think someone will give the formally vote of thanks. So just this is from my side, Professor Haroon sir, and sir, very soon I will invite you. The one lecture for the offline mode, because we are going to organize annual conference of the Indian Research Scholars Association. So we are making plan to invite some professor from abroad. So sure sir, I will invite you, sir. So I think you will accept my request again when I will invite you. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Thank you very much. By the way, because it was breaking, I didn't get the question. If you Can
No, no, sir, he was just expressing his gratitude.
Participants can ask the question. Yes, yes, please, sir.
I hear very well, Dr. Shubhangi, but yeah, I think for internet or some problem it was breaking, but I got basically synopsis of it. I'll be happy to join if you invite me and so on. Hopefully I have more paper ready so that I can talk about this and so forth. Okay.
Sure, sure. Participants will ask the question and also Shubhangi
Yes,
and
sir.
then
And dear participants, please ask the questions. Otherwise, I have a question. Sir, I want to ask a question.
Sure.
From your experience, which generation is the most challenging to retain in the public sector?
Most challenging in the
Yeah.
public sector.
Mhm. Uh, my question is, from your experience, which generation is the most challenging to retain in the public sector?
I would say the generation millennials and Generation Z, because as their characteristics are they're money driven, and also many private sector are enticing them with a higher salary. So and they would like to go for higher salary uh, rather than public sector jobs. And especially in the US, some of the I know some of the people working for the federal government, their morality and satisfaction is right now is very, very low. So younger generation will be hardest to recruit and retain.
May I
I hope.
ask one more question, sir, please?
Sure.
Yeah. This is technology more of a bridge or a barrier when managing multi-generational employees in the public sector? मतलब,
You mean technology?
yeah. Is a technology bridge or a barrier?
Technology, definitely. I think we have to live with technology no matter what. Even though we may not like it, technology is there. Technology is going to control the future, but technology can be a problem because the technology poses a threat at the same time because not too many people are well versed with the technology and so forth. So that can be a barrier. That can be a barrier and so forth. I think you are hearing a lot about AI. I particularly don't like it, but you have to live with it.
Yeah.
Because it I do think that it threatens intellectual property, and many people are now puzzled by it, and so on. Many younger generation may think that why should I go for higher studies when I have everything there, and also. By the way, I will bring a case. It's kind of in a joking way. One of the students at Cornell University tried to sue the university because the professor lectured from AI, and she said that why should I pay for it when I can get it through AI? So it is a challenge. But we have to live with it. Now
Thank
the
you,
question
sir.
is,
Thank
yes.
you.
Now the question is how to adapt and adjust.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Sir, I
By the way,
have a question.
Yeah.
yeah,
Dr.
go ahead.
Lokuma wants to ask. Yeah, please, sir.
Sir,
Okay.
I just want to know how is the differential needs of multi-generational employees, because the baby boomer, just you said, they are more into job security. But the Gen Zs, they want more money and more challenges, adventures. And the millennials, I think they are in between the two. So
Exactly.
how the public sector is responding to the essential needs?
Public sectors are again in the US under Trump, the tide is going other way, but the private sector, I think they are trying their best to recruit the multi-generation, especially the younger generation and so forth, by giving a lot more salary to the younger people and so forth. Like a fresh graduate with technology expertise, they're making a huge amount of salary. That's one way they are trying to do. And I think the United States will face the problem. They're not realizing it now. If they cannot adapt or they cannot recruit multi-generation, there will be serious problem with the government. I hope that answers your questions.
Yes, thank you.
I think there are no questions.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. As we come to the end of today's session, once again, I would like to.
Subhangi ma'am.
Okay. Please.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Please.
Yes, madam. Please. Aparna ji, please.
Yes, Professor Haroon, sir. Sir, there is currently a very increasing.
Aparna ji, please, if you don't mind, so please introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Sure.
What is it? I'm sorry, I missed it.
No, sir. I'm just continuing with it. Sir, my question is, there is an increasing emphasis on Indian knowledge system. Have you heard of the term? I think you'll be quite aware of it. Indian knowledge system, sir. So when you are mentioning Maslow's need of hierarchy, there is a term of self-actualization. That is the ultimate goal or ultimate kind of, we can say that the top of that pyramid. Self-actualization. So what is the comparable term in our Indian philosophy or Indian knowledge system? Please enlighten us about it, sir.
Well, I would say that again, I haven't read too much about it, but I do have a lot of respect for Indian education system, especially their dedication. I have many Indian friends, and they are so dedicated, especially in education. So that I kind of salute the education system in India and so forth. And also, the companies I think there's a lot of respect for Indian knowledge and so forth. So there's the limited progress. So I can say, right? A lot of many television shows about the worth of Indian education. And that I hear a lot about them and so forth.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Any other question?
Hello, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Good evening. And in my end, it's good morning.
Good. Ji sir. Sir, my request is we organize an international seminar. I Tehri Gadwal, Uttarakhand, India se.
Okay.
sir, we organize an international seminar in Feb 2026, and
In
we want
February.
to invite as a chief speaker.
Oh,
We grateful if you agree our proposal.
I'll definitely
And
try, but I'll definitely, but for me, in uh, about Dr. Vikash has my email and
Okay.
me an
Dr. Sanjay,
email. You can
Dr. Sanjay, send
Dr.
me
Vikash.
WhatsApp message. I will provide everything to you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
sir, mail repeat, please, sir.
I will provide to you, Dr. Sanjay. I will provide to you. Dr. Sanjay, I will provide to you mail ID. Okay.
Yeah, it is Dr. Vikash has my email.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mhm. Okay. Well, thank you very much for staying so late.